Hi, everybody. It's Jill from Tutor Success Academy, and I wanted to talk to you today about something that crosses everybody's mind. Whether you are starting a tutoring business, you already have a tutoring business, you're just thinking about a tutoring business, you're wondering, how do I find the time to work on my business when I'm already so busy, when I already have so many things on my plate? And so, you guys, this is something we see every single day. We are talking about it in Tutor Success Academy, the cohort. We talk about it in the members club because the fact is our lives get busier and busier every single day. And so when we have these really awesome, juicy goals that we want to pursue, the fact is we can be really motivated to do it, but we have a hard time figuring out where do we find the time to do these extra things, right? To work on our goals when we might just be kind of trying to survive life, right? So when it comes to building a business, whether you're in the dreaming stage, whether you're in the building stage, whether you already have a successful business and you are thinking about ways that you want to expand and grow and make it even better, no matter what stage of business you're in, the fact is you have to find time for two different things. You need to find time to work on your business, so business tasks, and you need to find time to learn about business. Just like you have to find time to learn about the teaching strategies and the educational strategies and interventions that you use to work with kids, right? We have to find time to read books and go to trainings and things like that. Well, we need to do the same thing for our businesses. So we need to find time to work on our business tasks, and we need to find time for learning about business and how to be a business owner and how to be a better business owner. Today, we're going to talk about the business tasks. And in our next video, we're going to talk about how to find time to do the learning that you need in order to be a business owner. So let's talk about tasks. So before we start our tips, which we have 5 tips today, I want you to focus on your why. Know your why. Nobody wants to do extra work for the sake of doing extra work. I know I don't. I don't know anybody who wants to do extra work just because, right? So if you are choosing to take on extra tasks, you have a reason for it. And I want you to get crystal clear on your why. Why are you thinking about starting a business? Why are you starting a tutoring business? Why did you start a tutoring business and you're working on it now? If you are teaching full-time and you're tutoring on the side, what is your why? If you are building a business that you eventually want to support you, right? And so you're building like a full-time business, what is your why? I want you to get crystal clear on why you are doing these things, because without understanding your reasoning behind it, it's really easy to walk away when, let's face it, we're going to get tired, right? We're tired, life is busy, and it'll be hard to find time to work on our business if we're not sure why we're doing it to begin with. But if we are crystal clear on that vision, what it is that we are pursuing, bigger than just the business, why are we doing this? That's going to help us when the road gets a little rocky and we're a little bit tired and we'd really just rather just watch Netflix, okay? So know your why, and I think you should put on a sticky note, put it on a piece of paper, put it on an index card, put it somewhere where you can see it so that you remember that why. So in Tutor Success Academy, we actually make vision boards. Those are those things, they're the dreams that we have for what we want our business to become. And we talk not just about one thing, but we talk about different areas of our life, what we want them to look like, okay? So know your why. Now, let's talk about the 5 things you can do to make it a little bit easier or a little bit more doable to fit those business tasks into an already busy life. So, number 1, if you've been following our page, you already saw this post about doing a brain dump. And if you haven't read it, go back and check it out. So, doing a brain dump means you take everything that's swirling in your mind and you put it down on paper. Because the fact is, it can be hard to take action when you feel like you just have too many things to do, right? So go back to that post. We have some tips on how to make a brain dump really effective. But the bottom line is you want to take everything that's in your mind that you are thinking that you have to do, ideas you have, even just things that have to get done, all the stuff that's on your plate, and you're just going to write it all down because you need to get it out of your brain. Okay, we can't move forward when we're kind of stuck in paralysis because we feel like there's too many things to do. So, step number one is to do a brain dump. Step number two, when you look at that brain dump, you're going to prioritize. Okay, so you're going to see 5, 10, 15, 20 more things that you want to do, goals you want to achieve, things that have to get done in order for you to be able to meet those goals, projects you have, projects you want to start, projects you need to finish, things that aren't really fun, but you have to finish in order to get to the next thing in building your business or moving your business forward, right? So you're going to look at that list of things. You're going to prioritize what do you really need to be doing right now. And so I'm going to tell you something really important. So I want you to listen. Way in the back, I want you to listen. Not everything can be important at the same time. I'm going to say that again. Not everything can be important at the same time. You have to decide what is important now and what can wait. We do not have to figure everything out today. So when you're trying to decide, okay, my schedule's busy, I just don't, know what to do, and I have so many things I need to do. So really, we're just gonna step back and not do any of them, right? Because it's just too many things. So instead, prioritize. What are the one or two things you need to do right now and focus on to build your business, to grow your business, to help your business have better systems, whatever it is that you want to work on, right? What are one or two things that would help you move the needle in your business, and focus on those? The rest can wait. You can never get to 20 things all at once. You can never focus on 20 things at once. And if you try to focus on 20 things at once, you're going to get a whole lot of things that are just half done but never finished. Okay, we want that feeling of completion. We want that feeling of we got it done. It's like an adrenaline rush, and it makes it so much more doable to tackle the next task when you know that you can actually check something off your list. So I want you to look at your business, right, or whatever part of life you're in right now, in seasons, and think about what season are you in right now. If you are planning on building a tutoring business, but you're not actually starting it yet, then focus your tasks on the things that are for that planning season. If you've started a tutoring business and you need to get clients, right? Like you need to get a few families, either you're starting to get families or you need to get a few more families, right? That is more important than your Facebook page. That is more important than maybe making the best handbook in the world when a one-page like sheet of policies will do, right? So I want you to prioritize in this season of your business. What is the most important thing? Now, if you already have an established business and you want to grow, then some of those things that you need to focus on right now actually are not urgent, because you don't need them immediately, but you need to be taking small steps every week in order to get to a bigger goal that you have down the road. And so if your season is that you already have a solid business, or you already have things like pretty solid as far as like your teaching and you've maxed out on tutoring, what are the things you want to focus on? Is it your systems? Is it your handbooks or your policies? Is it something like a project coming up in a couple months that you want to start working on to get ready for, like a summer program you want to offer, or that you're going to offer something at the beginning of the school year? So think about the season that you're in and focus on one or two things that are going to be the most impactful right now. And the rest, you just leave those on that brain dump page, okay? They're there, they're not going anywhere, but you don't need to focus on them now. That's going to free your brain up so much to realize, okay, I only have these one or two things I have to work on. Now I can find the time like in my schedule to work on them, which leads us to number 3. Set realistic goals. You guys, we all want the world, right? We want to do everything big, and we want it to be perfect, and we want it to be beautiful, and we want it all, right? But when you're looking at those things to focus on, you guys, set realistic goals. Okay, decide what is realistic to be achieved this week. Okay, and then just let that be the thing that you work on this week, right? You don't have to push yourself to the brink of exhaustion every single time. Yes, sometimes there are very busy seasons where you maybe have a lot to do in a small amount of time, but don't let your whole life be that way. Okay? Set realistic goals about the things you need to do right now to move the needle in your business or towards starting your business if that is the stage that you're in. And keep your eye on that goal too. So the realistic goals that you have, again, I feel like if you write it down and if you're looking at it and you're seeing it, whether it's a sticky note, whether it's a to-do list, um, have it where you can see it so that it's not out of mind, right? And that might be that you have a sticky note on your fridge so that when you go to get a drink, you remember that there's this one thing you want to work on, right? So keep it kind of in the top of your mind. Okay, two more. So number 4. This one I think is really important because when we're talking about having a busy schedule, right? And you're trying to find the time in an already jam-packed schedule. Where do you find the time to work on these business tasks? And so number 4 is thinking about, when do you work best? So if you look at your week, you're going to look for little pockets of time. Now, I understand that sometimes you might not see any pockets of time, and so you might have to make some pockets of time. But remember, we're only focusing on 1 or 2 things. We do not need to build in time all the time, every single day, every morning, every evening. Right now, you are prioritizing. Not everything can be important at the same time. What is important now? And then think, when do you work best? Now, I am not a morning person at all. I do not love the mornings. I try to schedule a lot of my tutoring to be after lunch. I only go in early twice a week. However, when I think about my tasks that I can do lesson planning early in the morning, right? I've been an educator for 20 years. I don't need all of my most creative juices running in order to plan lessons. So I can do that in the morning pretty early on kind of like a time crunch, right? But when it comes to more long-term projects or creative projects in my business, I can't do that in a little 30-minute chunk. I can't do that in an hour-long chunk. When it comes to working on projects in my business, I need to set aside like a couple hours somewhere in my week or my month to work on those things, simply because that's how and when I work best, is when I can find a couple hours chunk of time. I sit down and it's like plug along and I keep doing it. Now, if I'm working on some things during the week when I maybe don't have that time to do it, even though I don't like being a morning person, I've also realized that at nighttime, before, like when I'm done eating dinner and I'm winding down, and it's been a long day, the fact is sometimes my brain just will not operate. So I might set aside an hour or two before I go to bed to just work on something. But if I sit down to work on something and I get to see that I'm basically just kind of going in circles and not really focusing, and I'm not really on track to do what I need to do, I try to recognize that within like 10, 15 minutes. And if I notice I'm just cycling through, doing things repetitively that aren't actually doing anything right, well, then I know I'm just too tired to focus. I've kind of used up all of my brain energy that day. And so at that point, I just decide, you know what, shut it down. I'm not focusing anyways. There's no need to torture myself for 2 hours. And I just commit to, okay, I'm just going to rest, try to get to bed, and I'm going to wake up early the next day. Now, I've already told you I'm not a morning person. However, for some projects in my business and in my life, if I wake up an hour early and I get that coffee going, right? Well, then eventually the caffeine kicks in and I can actually be pretty fresh and I can kind of get moving on some things. So sometimes waking up an hour early is like the perfect way for me to fit in a little bit of extra time. Okay. It could be that you dedicate 1 hour or 2 hours, but let's face it, for a lot of fit people, especially parents, right? You can probably fit in 1 hour where you let the kids watch movies, or you keep everybody else busy, and you go and you close the door and you give yourself 1 hour on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday morning, and that is your time to work. And that's okay. Find the time that works for you and don't overdo it. Just find a little nugget of time that you can use. That is when you know that you can actually focus on the tasks of your business. Okay. And then the last thing is the part I love the most, and that is to make it fun. So fun to you, fun to me might be very different. But If you're working on your business task, do what you can do to make it a more enjoyable experience. So have your favorite snacks out for while you're working. For me, I really like chewing a minty gum. So I either am drinking coffee or I'm chewing like my favorite minty gum, because that keeps me alert, and it kind of puts me in that really good spot where I can be working and I'm enjoying it. I also I like to have like nice colored materials for when I'm working on plans and things like that. If I'm mapping out ideas in my business journal, I like having different colors, because for me, when I can like make things kind of visually interesting, it actually keeps me going a little bit longer. It keeps me more engaged. Highlighters, sticky notes, things like that. So when I have business notebooks and journals, they tend to look nice, like they feel good when I'm holding them. I use nice materials. I have some pens that are like really good quality pens. They're really nice, like they write really nice. And when I'm using these things, it's like my whole spirit, my whole vibe just kind of perks up just a little bit while I'm working on that. So it can be food, it could be music, music that gets you going, right? It could be lighting a candle that has a smell that you really enjoy. It could be getting out of the house and going to a coffee shop. It could be going outside and sitting in the trees. Now that doesn't work for me, because as soon as I go outside, I just want to take a nap under the sun. But whatever it is that works for you, that makes you feel kind of alive, and it kind of makes you feel creative, and it makes you feel focused, do that. That could be that you're on the couch with like a little table tray and a yummy drink and a snack next to you. So make doing business tasks fun. And then a little bonus tip is to have some accountability. So have some other people that you know that are trying to do the same things that you're doing. That's one of the wonderful things about Tutor Success Academy and the Members Club, is that we have these other people that are doing the same things that we're trying to do. They have the same challenges of trying to fit things into an already busy life, right? And it's a lot of fun when you get to say, hey, I finally did this thing, or hey, I'm going to be working on this. I'm going to let you know how it goes. I'm going to show it to you. Having that accountability and having some other people that you can share with, I think that can make this whole journey of building a business even more fun. So today, 5 things to help you find time for your biz tasks. Number 1, do a brain dump. Number 2, prioritize. So think of your business in seasons, right? Not everything can be important at the same time. What is important now, and just focus on that. That is your most important thing. Set realistic goals and keep your eye on those goals by putting up post-its, sticky notes, something that reminds you of what it is you want to get done, so you can like be really excited when you get it done. Plan when you work best so that you can dedicate some time that not only will be some dedicated time to work on your business tasks, but it's other time that you know that you actually can do some of your best stuff, right? So 11 o'clock at night, I'm probably not going to be doing my best stuff because I'm tired and I'm already thinking about my pillow. And number 5, make it fun. So if you have any tips that you want to share, leave them in the comments below and let us know. How do you find time in your busy schedule to do some of those business tasks that we need to do? And so keep following Tutor Success Academy, because next we're going to be talking about how to find time to learn about business when you're starting a business and you're already kind of busy. So that's going to be coming in the next video. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.